Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Keith Matanachai. I'm a 16-year-old high school student studying in the US. Today, I'm going to be going over 4 tips on how to start the school year just right, pandemic edition. Now, most of us have had trouble switching from summer mode to school mode, and this phenomena is not new. This thing is called the summer learning loss, and it's something that's very common among US students. Briefly, the summer learning loss is described as a loss of information or knowledge over time since you're not actively reviewing that over the summer. For example, at the end of the school year, I was decent at Spanish. It wasn't too hard. I got by, I could correct my grammar, I knew how to conjugate, but now I've totally forgotten almost all the words and all the conjugations I've learned. To generalize this example, it's really difficult to get the ball rolling, to start learning when the school year starts. This makes it so that our motivation levels actually dwindle once the school year starts. That's why you can see a lot of students slacking at the beginning of the year, but begin to pick the pace once the school year starts to ramp up. In this video, I'm going to be going over 4 tips on how you can prevent this from happening to you. Tip number 1 is to review the fundamentals. Before going back to school, you want to spend some time reviewing information and recalling some of the information that you last left off with when the school year ended. Doing this actually stimulates your brain, and it's not that difficult to relearn information. You already learned it at the end of the year. All you have to do is just think and get it over with so that you can start creating those neural pathways that help you remember. Also, summer learning loss is not new, as I mentioned before, and teachers know this. The first few lessons or first few weeks will be spent reviewing information and making sure that you understand everything from last year. Going back to the example of Spanish for me, it doesn't take that long to review. All I have to do is spend 30 minutes, 15 minutes, go onto a Spanish conjugation website or Conjuguemos and just do a little bit of exercise, re-simulate those pathways, and make sure that I understand all the conjugations and all the grammar patterns. Now, when I actually get back to school, I can be confident that I can maintain a conversation with my teacher and not embarrass myself in front of the class. This is very motivational for me, and it probably is for you as well. Now that you can see how important reviewing information is before the start of the school, why don't you try doing this yourself? Especially during the pandemic, online classes are going to make it difficult for the teachers to interact and help you in person. This means that it's even more important that you review the information yourself before getting yourself into online classes, which could be potentially even more confusing and difficult for you. Tip number 2 is to fix your sleep schedule. Staying up late watching YouTube videos is one of the most favorite things that I do, and it probably is for you as well. But we're all smart people, right? We know this isn't good for us. But whenever we try to sleep earlier, it always ends up failing. Why is that? That's because it's difficult to just jump from sleeping at 2 a.m., for example, to sleeping at 11 or 10 p.m. because your body has adjusted to sleeping at 2 a.m. What I recommend is to slowly scale back your sleep times. For example, if I usually sleep at 12 a.m., for example, then I slowly scale it back so that tomorrow I might sleep at 11:30. And then the day after tomorrow, I might sleep at 11. This way, your body slowly gets adjusted to sleeping earlier, and you don't spend all night in bed just lying, staring at the ceiling. You actually can go to sleep and feel motivated to do so. During the lockdown and stay-at-home orders, you probably stayed up late, just like me watching YouTube videos. But now, since online school is starting, it's even more important that you get your sleep schedule intact, because staying up late and waking up early in the morning is not a good combination for school. Tip number 3 is to take a break. Even though preparing for school, which is something I said earlier, is important, grinding 24/7 is not sustainable. And contrary to popular slang, the grind has to stop. Taking a break before school to make sure that you don't get burnt out is crucial, because during school, this isn't possible for you to do. Spend time with your family, play video games, go outside, play sports, do whatever you want. Just make sure that you're doing something outside of academics so that when you get back, you can have a lot of motivation and a lot of positivity to continue going forward. Especially during the pandemic and staying inside, you've probably been exposed to a lot of toxic Instagram posts or just online social content. And taking a step back from screens, since you're already going to be doing online school, will help boost your mood and your positivity. Now, the fourth and final tip is to finish watching all the TV shows you started. All of the streaming services during the pandemic have shown increases in viewership, and you and I have probably contributed to that. Whether or not you're the type of person that starts a lot of TV shows but never finishes any of them, or you start one by one and you finish each of them, making sure that you finish all the TV shows before school starts is very important. Nothing is worse than binging TV shows during online classes or thinking about the plot of a soap opera you watched the other day during online classes. Just get it over with, finish the series so that you can get back to working in school and having a positive attitude. Alright guys, that sums up the 4 tips that I have to give to you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a thumbs up or subscribe. It really helps the channel out.